Curse of Doom is a new card coming out in Rekindle Rebirth. It's a mage ability that's a support ability that costs 3, and it has 1 duration. It says at the end of the duration, all opposing heroes take 5 damage. Now, on your opponent's turn, or actually on either player's turn, any player can activate the following ability. You pay 1 shadow energy, kill a friendly ally, and exile this card. Now, obviously, you probably don't want to be doing this to yourself, but your opponent might want to do this to get rid of this before it goes off. So, if you think about it, there are cards in the game like Fireball that costs 3, and they deal Fireball deals 4 damage. Now, this card is going to deal 5 damage, but your opponent has a chance to counter it, and it is a little bit slower. So that is kind of the trade-off here. Now, it is a very powerful burn card, and this is something that people have been asking for a while. Why doesn't the Mage class get more burn cards? After all, mages are supposed to be about burning. And for a long time, the resistance to adding more burn cards into the game was the fact that burn mages are already really, really strong. You have stuff like Rush Mage, which recently was in the lineup of winning World Championship decks in 2021. You had just Rush Mages in general being a very present force on the Shadow Era ladder board and leaderboard. And you also saw Burn Mages still kind of existing, using cards, even cards that poison the hero and such can be quite good when you have a Stally Mage. And all those archetypes are sometimes considered a little bit toxic because they don't really interact with you. They just kind of stall and then burn you slowly. So there's always been this resistance to adding more burn cards into the game. But this card actually has that interactivity that I think a lot of other burn cards are missing. When you're playing Curse of Doom, you're not trying to prevent your opponent from playing stuff. It's more like you're giving your opponent a really tough choice. Do I sacrifice my own ally and pay 1 shadow energy, or do I just take the 5 damage? And we think it's going to be a really interesting decision that players are going to have to make. Now, it also has some synergies with a few cards, and here I'll list a couple that you could consider running with Curse of Doom. The first one is, as with most support abilities, they're going to be enhanced with this location called Raven's Crest. Now, Raven's Crest lets you renew a resource and draw a card when you play a support ability, so this would be perfect for a support ability archetype for the Mage class if you wish to go in that direction. Obviously, the downside is you're going to allow your opponent to be able to pay 3 shadow energy to seek an ability. That could be anything from Tidal Wave to Mind Control, and so this is a location that can also backfire on you because your opponent gets that very strong effect. Another way you could try and abuse Curse of Doom is to make it so that your opponent has to pay shadow energy with other cards, and then maybe they don't want to pay it as much. There's Gadiri Brexno Citadel, but there are other cards like this. Stuff like Poisoned Water that basically give your opponent this option to pay shadow energy to do something really good for them. In this case, they can pay 1 shadow energy to destroy this very powerful location at the end of the turn. But maybe they don't want to do that if they also have to pay shadow energy for Curse of Doom, and you can get them down to maybe 0 shadow energy, and then play Curse of Doom and Gadiri Brexno Citadel, and they'll only be able to get rid of 1 of them. Another way you could synergize with Curse of Doom is to play cards like Low Void Leviathan. Now, Low Void Leviathan gets +1 attack and health when an ability has been activated with Shadow Energy, and by forcing your opponent to effectively use their Shadow Energy, you can benefit off of that as well. So those are a couple of neat synergies that you can try. I'm very excited to see where this card goes. I think it will end its way up in maybe some burn strategies, but hopefully some very interesting ones. What do you think? What deck do you think you're going to run Curse of Doom in? Do you think it's a good card? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.